Hey guys, today on No Recipe Required, garlic mashed potatoes. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's get started on our garlic mashed potato recipe. Now, these potatoes, they start off with basically a normal, my normal mashed potato recipe, which I think is pretty awesome. I use Yukon Gold Potatoes, a little bit of heavy cream, and a good amount of butter, which isn't so good for the belly, but makes these potatoes super unctuous, creamy, absolutely awesome. The garlic I like to slow roast in the oven until it loses that kind of bitter, aggressive garlic flavor and takes on this sweet, velvety, absolutely wonderful, more mild garlic flavor. We mix it all together just like you would normal mashed potatoes, so it doesn't really add any extra work or effort or anything like that. Go ahead and leave me a comment, let me know what you think. I think these are going to be one of your favorites. Let's go ahead and get started. So I make my garlic mashed potatoes with real garlic, shockingly, and I like to roast it off. I'm going to take off the I guess the non-pointy end, if that's the pointy end. This is the stem or the root end. Just clip that right off. I've done it for 4 garlic cloves here. There's enough potatoes for probably 3 or 4 people. Throw them onto a little bit of aluminum foil. Drizzle a little bit of olive oil right over the top. Wrap them, some salt, into a like 275-degree oven. Just make a little pouch there. And roast them for about 45 minutes. That garlic is going to get soft, brown, absolutely delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and use Yukon Gold Potatoes for our garlic mashed potatoes here. Certainly use russet, you can use white potatoes, use kind of whatever you want. The important thing to do is cut them up, peel them obviously. I don't worry about every single little speck of peel either. You know, if you're cooking for the president, then alright, make it look absolutely perfect, but if you're cooking for yourself, your family, don't worry about it. You want the pieces of potato about equal in size, and you want to put them into a pot of room temperature water. You don't really want to start them off in boiling water, or you're going to get the outside of the potatoes cooked before the inside is cooked. I'm going to move this over to a medium-high heat, bring it to a simmer until the potatoes are just tender. My garlic was in for about half an hour or so, maybe 40 minutes, and I just checked on it. It's gotten nice and brown. You know, the magic that is roasted garlic. We still have that peel on it. Then the little tip that we cut off, what we're going to do is just go ahead and squeeze it, and it comes out kind of nice and easily out of that skin, and it's soft, it's become sweet, it's kind of lost a lot of that harsh flavor that is associated with raw garlic. And this is just going to mash up beautifully with our cooked potatoes for our garlic mashed potatoes. Okay, so you want your potatoes to be nice and fork tender. Should be able to go in pretty easily, but you don't want them overcooked, you don't want them fuzzy or kind of gross looking or anything like that. Let them drain, let them dry for about a minute or so, and then while they're still hot, we're going to start with the mash. So I got the potatoes obviously out of the pan, same pan that I used to cook them in. I'm going to add back about 1/4 cup of cream, and I'm also going to add about 1.5 tablespoons or so of butter. And this is just so the the potatoes don't scorch as I rice them into the mix there. We're going to go ahead and add a few potatoes at a time. Ricing is my kind of preferred technique. You can certainly use a blender. You can use the traditional masher. Use whatever you want. But I like this. It gives me a kind of a nice creamy texture, and I don't over whip them. We can add a few more if you end up dropping one in the mix. Don't worry about it. And then we've got our garlic. Just go ahead and add that right to the potatoes in any particular batch. First batch, last batch, doesn't really matter, because we're all going to kind of mix this together. And then once I get all these potatoes done, we're going to come back and finish up our garlic mash. So I just finished ricing up our potatoes. Now, I know I'm going to need a little bit of salt. I know I'm going to need a little bit of pepper. Actually, I like a lot of pepper in my mashed potatoes. Potatoes tend to take a lot of seasoning, so be pretty generous. And then I also don't really carefully measure or have measurements for my cream or for butter. I kind of do a little taste method. I know I'm going to need more. If, frankly, the calories of cream or the calories of butter bother you, you can certainly go ahead and use milk. You can use half and half. You can make some of those trade-offs. Just know the potatoes are going to be a little less creamy, a little less silky. We want to stir everything together, make sure that butter gets melted in there. And if it looks a little thick, go ahead and grab your cream, add a little bit more cream, add a little more butter. Just get it to the consistency that you like. And once you have that consistency and everything is melted, look how creamy and wonderful those are. Then you want to go ahead and give it a taste. For seasoning, you can feel that garlic, you know. It's nice. I think it's perfect in there with just 4 or 5 cloves. If you really, really love garlic, go ahead and add more. Add a little bit less, make it a little more subtle. Absolutely fine. I think mine could use a little more salt, a little more pepper, and one more, just because I'm feeling extra gluttonous, a little bit of butter. We'll stir that in, and we're good to go. Let's go ahead and serve this up. Okay, let's go ahead and serve up these beautiful garlic mashed potatoes. You know, these go so perfectly as a side dish with just about anything: steak, chicken, pork, you name it. Just make sure you pile them up nice and high. And then if you want, for a little bit of garnish, you can always throw a little bit more butter on there. I think there's plenty of butter in there now, so we'll just maybe chop or snip a few chives right across, which give it a nice look and that very mild oniony flavor. I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required. Holy cow, you made it to the end of the video. Hope you saw something you liked. Hope you try this recipe. If so, throw something in the comments. Let me know how it turned out. And you know what? I put videos up every week, sometimes twice a week. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. Click this little button right here. It should be somewhere around my fingers. And you'll get updates when I post new videos. You can comment, you can enjoy. We can all learn to cook better. I'll see you next time.